Should you have a say in the type of store that opens in your community? Well, the answer is yes, and absolutely not. Many of you listening, you're probably racists, you're bigoted, you're prejudicial. That's why you're here. You're looking for a shining light, a ray of light in the thick, black smog of hate and fear. Let me be that ray of light for you. Gays, Mexicans, Wiccans. Look at the La Palmas in Beachview. It was vandalized by a bunch of haters, a bunch of racists, a bunch of people who wouldn't want Mexicans in their community. To the neighborhood's testament, people did offer their support after the incident, but the incident did occur. It did happen. In Irwin, there was a witchcraft store, a Wiccan store that opened up. And I remember hearing, because I used to live there, and I remember hearing people complain about the witchcraft store. And, how could we let this in our town? How could we let this in our town? Oh my god! There was a tattoo parlor that also wanted to open in the same town, and I remember somebody on council saying that it would destroy the community. That's the mentality that a lot of people have. It's outdated, it's old, it's very prejudicial, and it has no place. You shouldn't be able to force somebody out because of your values. Some people have different values. I know many people who are Wiccans, and they're not necessarily terrible people. Many of you Christians are. Not all. Most of the people are fine people. Well, no, none of you have values. That's why you're here. That's why you listen to me, so I can set you straight. I am the straight arrow here in Pittsburgh. But here's another interesting story from out that way in Westmoreland County. Somebody, and this is an interesting point. Are there some cases where you should be weary of the type of store that is opening up, or the type of business that opens up? Yes. People in Irwin were worried about a brewery opening up near a school bus because they'd be shamed for life because their eyes would gaze on a building that makes alcohol. And they're not selling alcohol, it's not a brew pub, and even if it was, in Millville we have 2 of them, and it seems like decent people go there. I wouldn't be afraid to have a school bus stop on the outskirts of a parking lot that houses a brewery, even a brew pub. A whorehouse, on another hand,
that could cause
that could cause some issues.
Yeah.
I could see that being a problem. However, the question needs to be asked, and this will determine whether it's valid or not, whether it's reasonable or not. Is the state profiting from that whorehouse? That's really the question we need to ask. But content should rarely ever be a factor in where you're going to build a store, what type of store you are going to build. But quality in construction, that's a different question. There was one community that was fighting a Walmart to get in. They were fighting against the Walmart. They didn't want it in their town. And a Target moved right in. Nobody said anything about the Target. It was a non-issue. The Target tore down an old Ames department store and built the Target. They just utilized the land that was already there. The Walmart, on the other hand, built a makeshift hill and put the Walmart on top of the hill. And you ask, why? What's the big deal? Brian, please enlighten us. Give us the education that we need. The big deal is many Walmarts, if you read the news at all, I know you don't, you get your information from Twitter, social media, you get your information based on memes that you don't check and all of that stuff, but if you actually listen to real news or read an actual newspaper in your life, you would know that there were many landslides created by these faux hills that Walmart has created. So I can understand why somebody would be skeptical about a Walmart opening up in their town. It shouldn't be about the Walmart store as much as it should be about where the Walmart's being built, how it's being built. And people talk about Walmart destroying small businesses. And that is true if you don't adapt. Many people will choose the small business for the quality, for the level of service that you get. So there are ways to counteract Walmart moving in as a business owner. You can't really do anything about a mound of dirt that was piled up and loosely put together with brand new baby trees to try to hold the dirt in place. That's something you can't really deal with. I can understand. The people in McCandless Township, they are fighting back against Walmart. They actually went to court over it. They claim that the public was not given enough notice to research the Walmart. The court threw out their case, so they are now appealing to the Supreme Court. So we will see how Walmart succeeds. The community that was fighting Walmart that I spoke of, by the way, Walmart did make it into that community, and there is that faux hill that was built in. But there were restrictions into how the Walmart was to look and everything else. But Walmart's a big, big building. And I can understand why somebody might not want that in their community, but if you zone your land to fit a Walmart, well, you've zoned your land to fit a building such as Walmart. But this idea that we're going to boycott stores based on their content, to me, that's just a little too much. But then again, we do live in Puritan America, where you still cannot get a beer at the gas station here in Pennsylvania. Yes, I know.
Unless you're one of the lucky 11.
Yes, unless you're one of the lucky 11. Up next, we have a public service announcement, and we're going to bring that to you next here on The River's Edge.